God, who is a spirit, who dwell in the unknown divine reality of heaven, whose thoughts are higher than that of mortals, that exists for a moment before perishing and ultimately succumbing in death to the earth, have nonetheless condescended to the practical level in order to teach mankind of his ways, that we might understand his dealings and learn of his purpose through practical symbolism as it is established in the Holy Scriptures. Thus we find that God revealed the sacrifice and resurrection of Christ when he commanded Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac, who himself symbolized the birth of the body of Christ, which is Jesus of Nazareth. Both these two were conceived by divine intervention. Sarah was given the power to conceive in her old age when her time for childbearing was past. Mary was conceived by the direct intervention of God, while she remained a virgin until after the birth of the body of Christ. Christ was revealed to Jacob when he wrestled with the angel and prevailed. The name of Israel symbolized the one who has power with God and man and has prevailed over death. Thus, Christ is Israel, not a country, but a great high priest in heaven, according to the divine principle. So also, the bondage and the liberation of the ancient Hebrews from under the yoke of the Egyptians by the rulership of Pharaoh can be seen from the point of its practical symbolism. The cruelty and rigorous bondage of the Hebrews, from which none could have freed himself, symbolized the cruel bondage of sin and death, from which no man could free himself. It took the power of God through divine intervention by Moses to break the cruel bondage and consequently to free the people. This was not accomplished until the power of the bondage was completely weakened and destroyed. Moses, in this context, symbolized Christ the Messiah, who by the divine intervention of God has broken the power of sin and death, to which all people are subjected and unable to free themselves. Christ was more manifestly revealed to the people then and now in the practical symbolism of the sacrifice. In the 10th plague, death prevailed over the earth. Even the Hebrews as well as the Egyptians were subjected to this death. But what saved the Hebrews was the sacrifice of the lamb, the blood of which was plastered on the two side posts and on the lintels of their houses. It was a deterrent to the destroyer and to death, which cannot go beyond the blood, so that the people who were inside the houses do not die. This was God's doing, and it shows through practical symbolism the blood of Christ that protects us from spiritual death and bondage. The lamb that was killed as sacrifice symbolized Christ, and his death the supreme sacrifice once and for all to those who believe that in the faith in his blood we have divine protection and is set at spiritual liberty.